Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brittany, and here on this channel, I do like to help you grow your faith as well as grow in your business. So I like to help you not only professionally, but as well as personally. So today's topic, as you can see, is about honesty. So this topic is very big when you are new in your faith journey or something that you just possibly have been dealing with or going through. When we are dishonest or we are not honest with ourselves, we can be harmful in our businesses and our personal life with others. So I do want to talk about this topic, and hopefully it helps you, and whatever you are going through, you can continue to work through it and you can move forward and understand different ways of how to navigate this particular topic. So, to first start off, I will be talking about the definition of honesty in the Bible, and I will be referring to my notes because I don't want to get off topic and I do want to stay on track. So, the Bible meaning of the word honesty is a virtue that means being truthful, sincere, and free from deceit. It's a fundamental characteristic of God, and Christians are expected to be honest in all aspects of life. So, honesty reflects our character. So, having good faith, you hear that all the time. Being honest, having good morals, having integrity. Honesty and integrity are synonyms, they go hand in hand. And it really reflects who you are as a person. It really reflects what kind of characteristics you have, what you uphold. So you always hear like sayings of remain a person of good faith. So that's pretty much being honest. And there's more to honesty than just not lying. It really shows your faithfulness to God, being transparent and open, not only with yourself, but with others. And like I said, it involves integrity because it goes hand in hand. And one of the things is I will link all the scriptures down in the bottom in the description box, and you can read at your own time, especially if you are new on your journey and you don't know what scriptures to read or you don't know what to read. I always like to put the scriptures down below. So, um, God does not like a lying tongue, so he actually detests liars. It is something that is punishable, it is a sin. God strongly dislikes a dishonest person or a lying tongue. So keep that in mind, that when you are dishonest, when you are lying, are you really being faithful to God? Are you really doing what you need or honoring God in whatever aspect or part of your life that you're being dishonest in? And then really you just have to really check yourself, like, am I being honest with myself? And am I being honest in a way that allows for me to grow as a person? So keep that in mind, that when you are making a decision, when you are about to say something, or when you're omitting things, leaving things out, those all continue to grow from one lie into another lie. And then you have to cover up that lie with this lie. And then you have to keep going with it. And it's better to be truthful in the moment and in whatever situation you're in, because the long term effects of a lie could follow you for years, months. It could really affect other people in your life. So you want to make sure that you are finding ways to make sure you are checking yourself first, and then before you make that decision of being dishonest. And we don't want to cheat ourselves. We don't want to like sell ourselves short for what we could possibly be or be doing or move forward in. You never know where God is going to take you or how he's going to bless you. And even for me, like in the past, I've cheated on my resumes and took some jobs off or extended the dates of when I worked there. All that's dishonest. It's very hard because if you're trying to get a job and there's just certain jobs, maybe you didn't work there that long, or you just don't want it a part of the resume, or you just don't want to talk about it, then, or maybe you got fired from it, or, and something major happened and you just take it off. It may be still possible that if they run a background check, if you are moving forward in the process of a new job, that they still may find out about your previous jobs. So unless they're only running the jobs that you put on the resume, but I'm not sure. Some companies still do a thorough background check. I have been through that too, where I just took off some jobs, or not jobs, like maybe took off or maybe just extended the date of how long I worked there, because I don't want it to appear, that I was working there too short, or it was like only a few weeks, or just for training, or I looked for something else, because you never know in that new job how they will work with you and how they will move forward with you. Being honest and upfront in the beginning. Some jobs that you may have had just didn't work out, or you left that job because you went to go get more money, or you were looking for jobs and this was the first one that came up, so you're only there for a couple of months until the job that you wanted came up, or you went back to school for a certain time, or you became a parent and you took time off to raise your children. But just being open and honest and upfront with your resume and in your interview could take you so much further. I believe that I probably missed out on some opportunities by not being honest. And in the long run, I don't know if those people were willing to work with me. I don't know if those people were going to be willing to, do what they needed to do if they really liked me for the position. But I won't know that, or I didn't know that because I did too much on my resume or I extended the date. So just even in things like that, even with your taxes, like there have been a couple of times where, money was tight and I was like going along with whatever the tax person said that they can stretch it to get me more money. And in reality, it was pointless because you could possibly owe that money back if it actually goes through. And at the end of the day, the IRS is still going to go through it. And if they see that this doesn't look right, they're going to flag it. And you have to wait longer. And then, it just could mess you up. You could owe that money back if it does go through. It's just being obedient to the laws of the land, which is basically how we live, our government. Even if we don't agree with it, even if we don't see the point of doing it, it's still being obedient to the law, which is being obedient to God, is being faithful to God, is being open and transparent. If you are filing your taxes and every year you're doing something to get extra money, that all will come back to you eventually. I mean, I went through it to where I had to wait a year to get my money because my tax person had did something to get extra funds, which put me on a fraudulent watch list, which took a year for me to still get the same amount of money that I would have gotten had I just did a regular tax return or not agreed for him to do something that I knew went against my morals. It went against what I felt intuitively, and it just was a mess. So to avoid messes, to avoid even delaying the money that you need, because that is ultimately what lying and being dishonest does. It takes away from your blessings. It takes away from what God has in store for you. So if you were meant to have that job and you were being dishonest, you could be missing out on your blessing to make yourself some money or get the job that you desire. As far as the taxes, just these are just my stories. I'm not saying this is for anyone else, but just for me personally, I learned my lessons with those things. And it does take self-reflection for me to realize that I think I may be getting away with something, but I'm really not. And God is always watching. You have to remember, if you are new in your faith journey, if you are new to your walk with God and you're trying to do better, remember God is always watching. He knows, he sees, he hears. So even though we may think we're getting away with our lies or being dishonest and not holding our integrity to a certain level, God is watching. So that's why it says that honesty is more than just not lying. It's your faithfulness, it's your transparency, it's your whole being of who you are in your characteristic. So the more honest you are with yourself, the more likely you'll be honest in your business ventures, in your personal life, with family members, in your relationship. Be honest with your partner if it's about money, if it's about something that happened that you're embarrassed, even though you feel embarrassed, you still have to be honest with your partner or be honest with your friend or your family. If someone is making you feel uncomfortable, if someone is not treating you right, if someone is being mean, or if someone is deliberately hurting you and you don't speak up, you're being dishonest with yourself, because if you're putting yourself around people or situations that you know are not benefiting you or suiting you in any type of way, then it will start to just hurt you internally. So it's better to be honest with someone. If they said something that offended you, be honest with that person. If they did something to offend you, or if you did something to offend someone that you are aware of, be honest with that. Have a conversation. A lot of what we do in life could be a little bit more simple if we were to be honest from the beginning, if we were to be honest with ourselves from the beginning. Even in some situations in your life, you may have ended up in relationships that you knew weren't going to go anywhere, but instead you still went against some of your morals or characteristics of who you are to bend to be in a relationship that wasn't that great for you in the beginning, and it probably didn't end well. And that's us not being honest with our partner and honest with ourselves. So those are just examples of making sure that you live your life to the standard and characteristic that aligns with your purpose, your goals, who you are as a person. And remember that God detests a lying tongue. So remember, in any aspect of your life, God is watching, and it is a sin, and we don't want to sin and continue to sin, because there's sometimes where we may not know what we're doing, and we may not know what we're doing is wrong. But when you do know what you're doing is wrong and you continue to stay in it, that is when it becomes harmful. So you don't want to be harmful to yourself, you don't want to be harmful to those around you, and you want to continue to strive to do better. So with that being said, and the examples that I even use for myself, I am also a work in progress. I am also still trying to work through those moments where I have the urge to still extend those dates on my resume. I'm not doing nothing crazy with my taxes. That was one time, and there's just some things that maybe other people can go do and it doesn't catch up with them, but it always will catch up with you, but maybe not in that moment. But I'm one of those people where I try it, it does not work. It automatically I get what automatically I get, the repercussions. So regardless, be honest with your taxes and be honest on your job search. God has a place for you. Don't cheat yourself by, taking some jobs off or extending the dates. Just be honest, and when they do ask about those jobs or dates, then just give them an honest answer. So there are ways that we can work on being honest with ourselves and honest with others. So first will be honesty with God. So that's just through prayer, through praise and worship, listening to some worship music, studying your Bible. That's a big one. So when you study your Bible and you look over these type of topics, you not only grow closer to God, but you understand more. So be open and honest in your prayers with God. God, I'm dealing with having a hard time being honest. Can you please help me with this? Can you please reveal moments of my life that I need to work on? Can you reveal things that are still a challenge for me? Go to God in prayer, talk to Him, allow for Him to work in you and through you, and read your word, align that with prayer, and that will help you so much more in your journey of growing your faith and aligning your walk with God. So that's definitely number one is just prayer, being open and honest in your prayers with God. And then for the second one, be honest with others. So speak your truth, but do it with love and do it with humility. Sometimes our message can get diminished by our delivery. I'll say that one more time. Sometimes our message can get diminished by our delivery. So remember, although you are being honest, it does not mean you have to be rude. It does not mean you have to be mean. It does not mean you have to come off brash or harsh. It means that you are being assertive in something that is an issue for you or something that needs to be addressed. And that could just be very firm, very strong. It does not have to come off harsh or mean, because what happens is, although you are telling your truth and being honest, it gets lost because the person can't receive it because of how it's coming out. So remember, if we're being honest with ourselves or being honest with our family member, our friend, our best friends, our cousins, or whomever, our partners, do it with love and humility. Don't go and be rude with what you're saying, because the whole point would be missed. So that's very important. We have to remember what we say and how we say it is how it lands to the other person. So work on that if that's something that you have a hard time with, which is telling the truth and being honest, but doing it in a way that your message is being lost. So don't get your message lost. Make sure it's found and with humility and with love. And then lastly, just some ways to work on being honest, which is change your habits. So whatever habits you have right now, try working on changing them. Try working on changing your mindset, the way that you think with certain situations, that if you think it's not that bad, if you think you're leaving something out, that it's not a lie. Just change your habits of whatever it is in whatever area of your life that you're trying to work on. Be truthful, be the best version of yourself. So once again, characteristics, integrity, just be you. Don't try and be anyone else but yourself. Don't try and portray a character of yourself that is not you. Be exactly who you are. That's being honest as well. If you're on this platform, or if you have any type of social media platform and you're trying to grow your channels or grow your subscribers and followers, be who you are. Be yourself. Don't try to lie to try and win people over. Don't try and be someone that you're not, because it'll read through and people eventually will see right through it. So, just be yourself and don't try and impress others, and make sure you just take the time to self-reflect. I'm big on self-reflection, which is during prayer time for me, which is during the time where I read my Bible. I just reflect on my decisions, like why. Sometimes I ask myself, like, oh man, I missed out on that opportunity, or like I can get a little down, but I self-reflect on maybe why, which goes back to my situations with the resumes. Maybe some of those positions I missed on because I wasn't honest, or maybe just wasn't meant to be. But self-reflection, journaling is definitely the way to go when you're trying to work on such a sensitive topic like this, a hard topic. It is definitely a hard topic. We have probably all said a lie in our lives here and there once in a while, or you lie all the time and you're trying to work on it. So it's definitely a topic. None of us are perfect. We're all human. We're all going to make mistakes. But you want to work on yourself and reflect on yourself. And you want to make sure that you are improving in the areas where God is dealing with you on. And if you continue in the way that you're going, you're not working on yourself. So just do self-reflection each and every day and try your hardest to change in the ways of what you're used to, or maybe what you're taught, how you were raised. Try and go on that journey for yourself and allow yourself to grow while you are self-reflecting. And then just be straightforward in every aspect. Be honest, straightforward. Don't beat around the bush, especially when you're talking to other people or you're trying to address a concern. Just be straightforward. But like I said, just watch how you say it. But really, focus in on building yourself, getting to be the best version of yourself that you can be. and allowing for yourself to grow through this journey. It is a journey. It is always ever changing, but what you want to do is remain concrete in your integrity. Don't go doing something strange for a little piece of change, like keep yourself morally intact and in good faith, and building your characteristics to honor God, being open, honest, and transparent in your walk with God, which looks different for everyone. But if you are new to this journey, you are dealing with this topic, and you need more strength and motivation in that area, go straight to God. And like I said, I'll leave some scriptures down below so that you can read some stories in the Bible about some of the people in the Bible that actually went through being dishonest, and how it led them to a journey that was not originally intended for them, but that's where they ended up at, and how God worked through them, and how he brought them through these situations. So remember, God can bring you through anything. God can help you, God can mold you, shape you into his likeness, but you have to be willing to allow for him to do that. So I hope that with my examples, my stories, I hope that it helps you. If you are watching this or know someone that needs to hear it, please share it with someone. I appreciate you guys so much for watching. I really pray that this helps someone. I really pray that whatever journey you are currently going through, and whatever you're dealing with this topic, that this video really encourages you and helps you to navigate this current moment of your life. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. If you have any questions, please leave me comments down below, and give this video a thumbs up. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.